Today, we're going to walk through one of the wildest days in recent memory, a day that started with a major ceasefire announcement and ended on the brink of all-out war. And the whole thing unfolded blow by blow right on social media for everyone to see. So, the date is April 8th, 2026. You wake up and there's a glimmer of hope, a ceasefire. But what was supposed to be a day for de-escalation, well, it turned into something else entirely. It became a lesson in chaos, confusion, and high-stakes brinksmanship. Seriously, this thing didn't even make it to dinner time. All right, so how does a ceasefire fall apart that fast? Well, the first signs of trouble didn't come from some secret diplomatic memo. Nope. It happened right out in the open, with reports flooding in from the ground. The ceasefire was, quite literally, under fire from the moment it began. And just check out the timing on this. It's barely past noon on what was supposed to be day one of the ceasefire. And you've got journalist Trey Yangst just laying it all out. Israel's taking missile fire. Kuwait is reporting dozens of Iranian drones in the air. The UAE is getting hit. This isn't just a rumor. This is a coordinated attack happening across multiple fronts in broad daylight. And then, just a couple of hours later, boom, we get the official word. This wasn't some minor skirmish. The UAE's Ministry of Defense comes out with a statement calling the attacks blatant and gives us the numbers to prove it. 17 ballistic missiles and 35 drones. So yeah, the ceasefire wasn't just bent, it was completely shattered. Okay, so this is the point where everything just explodes. The conflict goes from a regional fight to something that threatens the entire global economy. And it all centers on one of the most important stretches of water on the entire planet, the Hormuz choke point. All of a sudden, news starts breaking that Iran has shut down all traffic through the Strait of Hormuz. Now, to get how big of a deal this is, you got to think of the strait as like the one single highway entrance for a massive chunk of the world's oil supply. Closing it is like putting up a giant roadblock. You get an instant global traffic jam with huge economic ripple effects. And then, believe it or not, it gets even crazier. Iran isn't just closing the highway. They're basically setting up their own private toll booth. The Financial Times reports this incredible demand. You want to pass? It'll cost you $1 for every single barrel of oil. Oh, and one more thing. They'll only take payment in crypto. This is a whole new level of economic warfare. And this analysis from Dr. Eli David just hits the nail on the head. He points out that if the world actually agrees to this, it's not a negotiation, it's not a deal, it's a complete capitulation. It means you're basically handing over control of a vital economic artery, and that changes the whole power dynamic in the region.
So while all this is happening, missiles flying, oil tankers at a standstill, a totally different kind of war is kicking off, a war of words. And it started to become pretty clear that the main players might not have even agreed to the same deal to begin with.
I mean, just look at these two posts right next to each other. Over here, you have Iran saying they'll walk away from the whole ceasefire if Israel keeps fighting their ally, Hezbollah. But then, over here, you have reports that the White House is telling people the truce doesn't even apply to Lebanon, which is where Hezbollah is. It's like, wait, what? How can you have a deal when both sides think it says something completely different? And right here, this is the core of the problem. For Iran, protecting Hezbollah was a deal breaker, a core part of the agreement. For the US, apparently Hezbollah wasn't even on the table. It's like two people signing a contract, but one person's version has a whole extra page that the other person has never even seen. The entire agreement was basically built on quicksand.
Which brings us to the evening of April 8th. You've got confusion, you've got attacks, you've got economic threats. It's all building to this incredibly tense moment. The situation is rapidly escalating from just a broken truce to the actual brink of a much, much wider war.
And just when you think things can't possibly get any more confusing, a U.S. official drops this bombshell to Trey Yangst. That 10-point plan everyone's been talking about all day? Yeah, that's not even the latest framework. There's an updated plan. I mean, what does that even mean? Are there frantic secret negotiations happening? Or has communication just totally, utterly collapsed? It's pure chaos. And then comes the ultimatum. Iran's foreign ministry puts out this incredibly blunt statement aimed directly at the United States. No more wiggle room, no more confusion. The choice is simple. You either enforce a total ceasefire or you are actively choosing continued war. The ball is now, without a doubt, in Washington's court, and the stakes are about as high as they get. And this is how the day ends. Not with another press conference, not with a diplomatic statement, but with this silent and pretty ominous image from flight tracking websites. We're seeing multiple U.S. Air Force Stratotankers,
These are basically flying gas stations for fighter jets and bombers taking off from Israel. There's no explanation, no announcement, just movement.
So that really leaves us with this final, chilling question. With ultimatums on the table and military planes in the air, was this the quiet, visual proof that the 12-hour ceasefire wasn't just dead, but that something far worse was about to take its place?